Look at this photo. You know what it is immediately. Dog, bench, park, done. Your brain handled that in about 1/10 of a second before you even consciously thought about it. A computer arrived at the same answer through 4.2 billion mathematical operations applied to a grid of numbers. No concept of dog, no understanding of park, just statistical correlations between pixel patterns and labels. Both get the answer right, but they get there in completely different ways, and that difference matters a lot. So, a digital image is just a grid of numbers. Each pixel has 3 values, red, green and blue, and a luma or brightness value ranging from 0 to 255. The job of computer vision is to turn that spreadsheet into meaning. A convolutional neural network does this in layers. The first layer slides tiny mathematical filters across an image, and at each position it computes a weighted sum. These filters learn to spot simple aspects of images, like edges, gradients and colour changes, but each layer builds on the last. Edges become textures, textures become parts, an ear, a paw, an eye. Parts then become objects. By the final layer, the network isn't thinking about pixels anymore. It's working with abstract patterns that correlate with categories it's been trained on. Nobody programmed it to recognize a dog. It figured out what makes a dog look like a dog by processing millions of labeled photographs and adjusting its weights to get better at the task, which is remarkable, and also the source of a very specific problem. In 2013, researchers showed that if you add specific patterns of noise to an image, a perturbation so small that no human can see it, you can make a neural network confidently misclassify it. A panda becomes a gibbon, a stop sign becomes a speed limit sign. This isn't a bug in one model, it's a structural property of how these systems work. Because they're operating on pixel level statistics rather than a genuine understanding of what things are, they're vulnerable to inputs that exploit the statistical shortcuts they've learned, and that has real consequences. If a self-driving car's vision can be fooled by stickers on a road sign, the gap between laboratory accuracy and real-world reliability becomes a safety problem. There are mitigations, adversarial training, ensemble methods, redundant sensor systems, but none of them eliminate the underlying vulnerability, they reduce it. The system is getting better at guessing, but guessing is still what it's doing. The biggest architectural change in the last 5 years is the vision transformer. Instead of processing an image through local filters, it divides the image into patches and lets every patch attend to every other patch simultaneously. What that means in practice is that the model can understand context. A steering wheel implies a car's interior, even if the car's body isn't visible. A leash implies a dog, even if the dog is out of frame. It's not just rendering pixels anymore, it's reading situations. And the current frontier is multimodal models that process image and language together. These systems don't just classify, they describe, answer questions, and reason about what they see. Whether that counts as understanding or just very sophisticated pattern matching is an open debate. What's not debatable is that on standardized benchmarks, the gap between human and machine learning performance has essentially closed. The gap in robustness and common sense, however, still wide open. So, why is this an important problem to solve and what industries benefit? Computers understanding context have a massive amount of use cases from a consumer point of view, like identifying pictures of your dog in your camera roll to helping cut out and remove people or objects from a photo or video. From a wider perspective, these systems are now being developed predominantly for robotics and self-driving cars. From a robotics point of view, this will contextually help the robot to understand the minutiae of its working environment to best enable it to interact with it. This is specifically crucial to humanoid robots, which are expected to be able to work in a varied range of built-for-human workspaces rather than niche robots built for one task. In terms of self-driving vehicles, this may represent the highest stakes for basically 100% accuracy. While there are a number of different technologies being tested for self-driving cars like LiDAR, some companies, for example Tesla, are mainly utilizing fairly standard image-based camera arrays to provide data for self-driving. If these technologies are to be effective, they need to be better than humans at identifying not only obstacles and dangers, but the basic environmental context in a wide range of driving environments. We see most of these cars being tested on the wide, straight, modern roads of Texas. However, they also need to be able to drive through the cobbled streets of a fishing village in Cornwall, or around the precarious mountain passes in northern Italy. These systems don't see, they compute correlations at a scale that looks like seeing under the right conditions. The engineering challenge is now making them more accurate on tests. It's making them reliable where accuracy matters most, on roads, in hospitals, in situations where the data doesn't look like the training set. We haven't taught the machines to see, we've taught them to approximate sight, and the gap between those two things is where all the interest in engineering lives.